Yo guys, Mike for Sim Racing 604 and welcome to Rennsport. This is the first video I've done with the closed beta version of Rennsport, and I just want to give you guys an update on what's going on with the title by showcasing all the cars and tracks currently available through this beta version. So we'll start off with the Spa-Francorchamps track here, and I am driving the Porsche 911 GT3R. This is the 992 version of that car. As you can see, looking around here at this version of Spa-Francorchamps, this is the latest version. It's got the grandstand up on the left there, and something you'll notice here with this Unreal Engine is the draw distance is fantastic. Look at the trees in the background. Looks really impressive. It's not a very well optimized title, so currently I'm running just on medium settings, but even on medium settings I think this looks pretty darn good. So as I said, I'm going to showcase all the cars and tracks currently on offer, and there's only 4 of each, so this is a pretty simple and should be a fairly short video. And along the way, I'm going to share my thoughts on how things are shaping up. And to start off with, I should mention that there's not much to judge yet. I mean, we don't have AI racing, and there's no, to my knowledge, multiplayer racing going on with Rennsport at this time. Of course, that is going to be a main focus of the title. But currently, there's none available to my knowledge, and you can't race AI. So really, it's just a hot lapping title at this point. But of course, this being just a beta version, you can't really expect too much. And as far as the content, we know we're going to be getting more than GT3, but as of right now, that's all we have. And I know what you're thinking. Great, another GT3 at Monza, another GT3 at Spa-Francorchamps title. We need that like a hole in the head. And I think you'd be about right. But I mean, there's good news on the horizon for this title. We know we're going to be getting you know, different classes. We're hearing about prototypes. We're hearing also about mods. And I have personally driven the Goodwood Hill Climb, so we know it's going to go outside of what ACC has to offer, at least that far. And then with the mods, I mean, sky's the limit. It might be a tough one to mod, who knows. But as of right now, just the prospect of mods, I think, is good news. So, coming to the end of our lap here at Spa, then we will jump over to Monza and continue on. But yeah, that's the first track and car of Rennsport. So next up, we're here at Monza on board the BMW M4 GT3. And I'm going to use this lap rather, to talk about how the cars handle. And again, the sample group is small. I've only got 4 GT3 cars thus far. But I would say the handling is quite good. I think Gamer Muscle, I think he hit the nail on the head here by talking about how this feels like some sort of hybrid between ACC and Race Room. I would agree. It's somewhat slidey like Race Room, but before you reach that slide, like before the car goes over the limit, it does feel a little bit like ACC, and I don't say that lightly. I actually really like ACC's handling. It's a bit more slidey to me than that. But yeah, not dramatically so, I would say. So I think generally they're on the right track. And again, we're judging this in beta, but yeah, for what I felt so far, it's good. I would say that in the year since I last played this at the Expo in Munich, has there been major improvements? No. So that leads me to think that, give or take, this is going to be the handling model they stick with, at least for now. And yeah, I'm not terribly unhappy with that. It does feel like a sim. It's not as if the cars are sliding all over the place. It's not as if, you know, it feels game-like. It feels very sim-like. So again, I think that's a good thing. And to some degree, it does seem to be at least a little bit in line with ACC. Somewhere between ACC and Race Room is the truth of it. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it for being in beta. If they stick with this and make refinements to this, I would be very happy. Generally, the cars are doing what I expect them to do. It's not as if I have to spend hours practicing and getting used to this particular sim's physics. I mean, it just kind of does what I would expect. So yeah, massive shout out to the Rennsport team on getting it right, at least in beta thus far. And that concludes our lap of the beautiful Monza. Alright, so I'm deliberately pairing my least favorite track in the game with my favorite car. Hopefully the two kind of offset. So we're here at the Hockenheim ring, as most of you will recognize. And again, that draw distance here is beautiful. You can see the foliage in the background looking as sharp as ever. And the favorite car is the Audi R8 GT3 Evo 2. So I just really like how this car handles, and I think if they get all of their mid-engine cars feeling like this, I will be very happy with the handling overall. It's very informative, and you know, you can be mid-corner, and if your car is not rotating properly, you can just nail the brake and induce that rotation. And it's most pronounced in this car. Maybe it's over-pronounced, I don't know. But I just really like how it feels. And this one is my favorite to lap so far in the title. And again, on my least favorite track, it sort of softens the blow. So it's not as if they've done a bad job here with Hockenheim. I just really don't know Hockenheim all that well. And I'm somewhat jaded because this is what we drove when I was in Munich last year, and I got my butt absolutely handed to me by people who actually had business being invited to Munich to try out something like this. But yeah, I was there, and yeah, it really showed the gap between my own skills and some of the top esports drivers in the world. But anyway, back to the car, and I really enjoy this. And again, my favorite car in the game thus far, and you can hold on to it right on the limit of grip there, and just a really fun thing to drive. So that's it for Hockenheim and the Audi. So final lap here, we're at the Nürburgring GP on board the Mercedes-AMG GT3. This is the 2020 version. The Mercedes-AMG, of course, a staple of sim racing, and of course we had to have it in Rennsport. So, yeah, again, I'm just going for the final lap here. This is the final of 4 courses currently available, or circuits currently available, and the 4th of 4 car available as well. So what are my final thoughts on Rennsport in its current beta version? Well, I would say they are definitely on a good track. This doesn't feel game-like, it doesn't feel silly in any way. Could it be more refined? Yeah, of course it could. I would love to feel this more in line with ACC than it currently is in terms of the handling model. But again, right now it's landing somewhere between ACC and Race Room. I like both games, but so maybe that's the identity of Rennsport. We'll see. But a little bit more mid-corner grip would definitely be a welcome thing. The sounds are fine. They're not outstanding. It's hard to say where they'll go with that, but again, overall, I just feel like they're on a good path here, and I wouldn't expect, you know, anything to necessarily blow my mind at this stage of beta. The one thing I will say is it's somewhat on my mind that this hasn't really improved other than the amount of content in a year. I feel more or less the same as I did 1 year ago. So we'll see what happens with it. I am optimistic. I think the announcement of mod support is a big one. I think the fact that we're going to get, you know, prototypes and things like that is a big one as well. It'll help distinguish it from ACC. But who knows? So yeah, but overall, I do think they're doing a good job so far early in development. And let's hope the pace of that development can pick up somewhat. So let me know your own thoughts in the comments. What are you expecting from Rennsport? Is this something you'd be interested in buying, or at least trying? Let me know.